Hello, dorks. I am here now. I have returned. I have returned from my adventure in the wilderness, and I am here to bring you stories and glorious things. Hooray! Yeah, today's just gonna be a just chatting stream. I've never actually done that on purpose before. I've chatted with people. I've never just chatted with people. Hello! You're just on time. I have returned. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I had a glorious forest adventure. There's a cat here now. She's been missing me. I'm sure I can say. Yeah, she's just gonna settle right in here, isn't she? That's fine. Come here. Yeah, hi. I'm gonna take this off for the moment because I'm sure it makes my audio slightly worse, but you know, it's gonna live right here. It's just gonna stare at me here because it's the greatest thing in the world, isn't it? I'm so happy. So for background, I've spent the last couple weeks working on this project and a couple other similar projects, and I haven't really spoken about why. I just was kind of working on them. I was sharing in the Discord progress pictures. If you want to see, you know, what that whole process looked like, then join the Discord and I'll show you. I've been loving telling people how easy it is to make something so incredible. You can do it too. I can show you. I can help. It's not that hard. It's glorious. But yeah, I made this mask specifically for a music festival that I went to this last week. Hello, welcome. I'm talking about my adventure in the forest. Specifically, I guess I was trying not to, you know, disclose my movements before they happened, but it's in the past now, so I don't know how much I care. But it was Oregon Country Fair. It's down in Oregon, so in the Pacific Northwest of the U.S. if you're not in the U.S. This glorious forest they have as the grounds that they have set up there are dedicated towards this festival exclusively. It happens once a year, and then they have like a summer camp at some other point too, but that's kind of ancillary, I guess. But it's a forest. Everyone just kind of exists in the forest. They have you're not allowed to put down like permanent structures. You're not allowed to put down a foundation or anything, but you have your booth. It can be made out of wood and stand on stilts and stuff, and then those things just live there, and all the vendors come out and they set up their booths a couple days before, and then everyone just kind of camps out there for the weekend. And it's a big fair. You got crafts, and oh my goodness, am I being raided already? I've been online for 6 whole minutes. Hello raid. Oh, excellent. Glorious. Here, I'll put this on for the raid. Greetings, dorks new and old. I'm here to regale you with my tales of adventure. Yes. Oh yeah, and also, I am now officially an affiliate. So yeah, thank you. This is also, I was kind of planning on doing something like this just as a celebration of reaching affiliate finally, but I also have like tales to share in too, and all that too, so I'm gonna do that as well. Yeah, thank you. Afflicate. Here's Afflicat. But yeah, I have pictures to show you. I want to show you what our nature looks like, or at least the nature that I was hanging out in all week. You can go back and sit over there. But yeah, I made that mask specifically to go to this music festival because I've gone once before. This was my second time going, and the first time was just so absolutely mind-blowing and amazing, and everyone is so good at making cool things. All these cool hippies making all these amazing art things in the forest, and I had to contribute, right? I can't just go and enjoy the things. I mean, I can, but I can't. Like, I need to be a part of it. I needed to give something back. So that's what my mask was. I was running around with that most of the time I was there. I got so many compliments. It was so fun. So fun. But here, let me show you some pictures. I think I can do this. Yeah. On this, can you return? No? Okay. Whatever. Here, we'll just turn that camera. There we go. Okay. That's fine. So in theory, these will show up in roughly chronological order. Oh, and you're like, you've escaped down there. So this is the parking lot. It is a very free form kind of a setup. We got here in the parking lot and parked. We got these carts to haul all of our stuff from the car into our camp. I was part of a vendor booth, so I got to be there as a vendor, as a booth person. So like the general public, the people who just come and attend the fair, there's a gate open time and there's a gate close time, and everyone gets kicked out at night. But all of us vendors get to camp inside the fairgrounds. Like all the booths, or most of the booths, have like a booth area and then a backside area further from the path where everyone sets up their tents. So we got all of our stuff out of the car, we packed it into the fair, and we didn't leave the fairgrounds for the week, essentially. We showed up on Wednesday afternoon, we left Monday afternoon, and we were inside the fairgrounds the whole time. So yeah, there's all our junk. Here's the path coming in. So this is like, the parking lot there, and coming in this way. And yeah, the more parking lot stuff. All this stuff outside. Oh, and yeah, so there's the glowy stuff, all sorts of glowy stuff. Here's one of the art installations that we saw early on, just kind of on the path. It was made of metal, I believe. There's a whole bunch of holes poked in it, and then a light bulb in the center. Pretty cool. Here's what the fair itself kind of looks like. A lot of it's, these just long dirt path drags with trees everywhere. 90% of the whole place is in the tree cover. There's a couple of large meadows that you'll see that are more open, but I didn't set foot into the sun for a good majority of the time that I was there. I got a little bit of sunburn, but really not so much, considering how much the sun was out. Like, we had gorgeous weather the whole time we were there. Yeah, look at this. This is just what the whole place looks like. This is kind of towards the entrance, and I think there's a couple pictures as we were walking up towards our booth. Our booth was like all the way in the back, like you as far away from the main entrance as you could get was where our home base was. And yeah, there's here's some kind of open areas here. They have little traveling kiosks and stands and stuff, but like, yeah, all these permanent structures, like this all lives here year round, and the booths, the staff kind of take down the signs and stuff, and all the merch obviously all leaves, but the actual wooden structures just stay there, and you have to build it in a way that survives. But they're also really strict about like what materials you can use. Like, you're not allowed to finish or seal the wood, you're not allowed to put in foundations or anything. Your stuff is really at the mercy of the forest, and so you show up a couple days beforehand to fix everything that broke. There was a big tree that partially fell in our campsite because it was on the verge of falling for quite a while, and then in the between last year and this year, one big section of it just fell over into our camp where we were planning on putting up tents, and we had to get we weren't allowed to do anything with it even. We had to get the fair, like official fair staff, to come in with a chainsaw and saw it up, because we would have gotten in trouble if we made those kinds of changes. And that's how this is run. That's just how they do. More forest stuff, and then art installations. Like, look at this thing. This thing was so pretty. I think, yeah. So these bits here are glass. So they're making shadows on the ground there, and all this lights up. I think I have a video of this for. I think this is going to do all the photos first, and then we'll get to the videos afterwards. But it all lights up, and it's all animated. It's great at night. Some more kind of booth areas. I think that's the front porch, and then yeah, some big tents. This is one of the big meadow areas. There's like a bunch of trees in the middle, but a bunch of open space outside. This is like where a lot of people put their big art installations, like this one. This is one of the better ones. This is a bunch of plywood that has been CNC'd, I'm guessing, with the Mandelbrot. And like you can see, we didn't get to see it set up the first day, but it's just a bunch of wooden panels and they go up next to each other. And it has all these indentations into it, and then they shined lights on it so that it was like animated. I'll show you that video later. There's this thing also in the meadow. These are like colored panes that lights come through, but then the edges light up, and the fins move. Like it kind of does one of these things. And that was very cool. Reminds me a bit of when work sent me to Glastonbury, and we were in the green eco-spiritual part of the festival rather than the music part, so it was lots of art and hippie stuff. Very cool. Yeah, that's probably very similar. Like this is a music festival, but of course I can't show you very many pictures of the music, but you know, it's all very good. A lot of art stuff, a lot of hippie stuff. It's a very hippie festival in the best kinds of ways. And yeah, this is kind of the meadow area still. There's I forget which stage that is. Let's see. And yeah, you know, some quiet places. A lot of spaces just kind of put off to the side where people can hang out and chill for a while. But yeah, and then here's our booth. This is where we were set up. Our camp host does a whole bunch of really nice shirts, which you can't see in here because we were still setting up. And then we have some other people within our booth who do some other things, metal sculptures, and there's a guy who does chainmail. It's very, very good. But there's my mask. You can see it. I just had it hiding up there, up on top of the booth while I was not wearing it, while I was running around. Here's kind of near the main entrance. This is, you can't really tell here, but it's like a dragon. Got two horns here with a bunch of lights on them, and then a display here that was displaying some trippy stuff. And then they set this up as like a little stage, and people were playing music there. And that was cool. Oh, there's the mosquito thing. It's all lit up. These things were cool. It's just a static painting, but it's like it's got a bunch of fish to it. It's all very, very cool looking, but then they have these colors and shining on it, and the colors would change over time. So it's very, very trippy looking stuff. It was cool. I liked it. And then there's me in front of the Mandelbrot wall, wearing my mask and my mesh. That was great. Running around all day with this silly mask on. There was a unicorn. You gotta have a unicorn, right? There's the unicorn. So there's this isn't a great photo of it, but this is kind of from behind. There's a bench down here, and then there's like a big metal crab thing. You can see this is a claw, and then this is kind of a dome on its back. But then if you go around to the front, you can see a big crab face. But it's like rearing up, and then there's a big bench underneath it. It was fantastic. Yeah, and then this is near there, I can assume. Yeah, there's my mask, kind of glowing in the dark. It didn't glow as intensely as I was hoping, but it still had a glowy effect to it in the dark, and it was very satisfying. It looked great in the sun. There's a phoenix thing. This thing has been here for a while, in years past, but it's still looking amazingly glorious. Lit very, very dramatically from below. Some pretty trees and such. The penguins on stilts. There's a whole bunch of parades. There's a parade within earshot at all times at this fair. It is ridiculous. One of the parades was penguins on stilts with people with little fishies that you can toss to them. And they just walk by. They just walk by and go har, 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 and then they're gone. And that's the parade. On maps. There's maps of the place that they put up, but instead of just having the same map everywhere, they have like a blank map, and then people can decorate them, and so they're all unique. So they put up these maps that people have decorated in their little map spots, and they're, you know, they all have the same information on them, but like all the mushrooms and these gnomes and all these trees, that's all someone did that to this map specifically, and then they displayed it, and that's cool. These things were cool, little pendants with they all had the word peace, but like in, you know, whatever language you wanted, including Elvish. And my friend bought one of these. And it's all very pretty stuff. Math Scraper, that's who, or Scaper, Math Scaper, that's who did the big Mandelbrot wall, which I'll show you the video of. Yeah, here we go. It's just this huge, it's like, I don't know, it's gotta be half a dozen wooden panels just set up across the field there. And I just love the way that the very rigid math patterns lined up with all the very imperfect wood grains. I don't know, it was very good. It was very, very good. We bought some art. Story about these pieces of art. We bought this art. This was like on day one. I bought these stickers, and then my friend bought this one because they're both amazing. I should Lunark. I should like pull up people's things as I find them. But I want to plug people. Yeah, this person has a whole website, lunearch.com. And it's so pretty stuff. I saw these images of Drib here, and I was like instantly like, I need this. This is mine now. So we both bought these things, and then we were walking around and we set them down. We were looking through a little bin of like discount stuff. And we weren't thinking, and we just set them down, and then we went into the booth and we were looking at their hoodies and stuff. And then as we bought a hoodie and we're moving on, and then essentially right as soon as we were leaving, we were like, okay, where's the things? Where did we put the things? And they were gone. One of the people at the booth was like, oh yeah, I saw someone pick some stuff up from over there and run off with them. I'm like, are you kidding me? So we took pictures of them, but they don't exist no more. We went back and rebought them because they're amazing and needed to have them, but we lost our first instances of them. So at that instant, I took one of these stickers and put it on my water bottle so that I knew I wouldn't lose it. There's my friend. There's me. Here's the fire show. I have a video of the fire show. Fire show is very good. That was on the first night, so Thursday night or Friday night. Time was weird. But yeah, you go out into basically out into the parking lot, and there's just this big musical fire show going on. It's very, very good. Very crowded. No one would sit down. There's the big flower thing when it's all glowy. Very cool. Yeah, and see all the little blades all move independently. And there's the unicorn all lit up at night. And these things, this was a booth kind of near us. They had these mannequins set up. They were like up here. But as we were walking by, they had them down and people were taking pictures of them. Thought they were amazing. There's me with my half my costume. This is something that I bought there. That's gonna show up on stream at some point. I'm definitely gonna be wearing some of the shiny things that I found while I was out. There's the two of us in our costumes. They had a little photo booth set up. Yeah, it was great. I'm very happy. We did some dancing out by main stage. Yeah, here's the main stage, and we weren't too far from the they call it main stage, but there's some other big stages too. But our camp was pretty close to here. And they have some big events going on here. We saw Bill. We saw a guy with a Bill jacket, and it was amazing. We had to go and take a picture of that. Oh, and then yeah, videos. There's that. We just saw them walking, but we were up in our booth because the booth has a like a balcony to it. So I was just sitting up there and saw these things walking by, and like, what the heck are those? And they're like big metal structures with LEDs on them, and they're, you know, just animated so that the different bits are lighting up at different times. Here's the sun coming up. There was a piano right by our booth. They have a permanent piano set up in like a little meadow. It's a little alcove basically right by the path, but they have a whole bunch of blankets and pillows and such. And it's just a piano where people can come by and play. And obviously you should be kind of okay at playing the piano before you're playing for people, but everyone is so good. People just come by and delight the crowd in their piano skills. There was like a staff person who's kind of keeping on things, but generally people could just walk up and play for people. And I loved it. It was one of my favorite highlights of the whole experience. I remembered it from the first time I went. I remember the piano being there because it's like, it is within earshot of our booth. So anytime that I'm like, you know, working or hanging out at the booth or eating lunch or whatever, sleeping, anytime I'm sleeping, I'm listening to the piano. So I remembered it from, you know, when I was there a few years ago, and it was just on my mind this whole time. And yeah, I got some time to hang out with the piano, laid on the ground, got regaled by, or serenaded, I don't know. Lots of very chill, cool music coming out of that piano this weekend. And so this is a photo of laying on the ground next to the piano, staring at the sky as the sun is coming up. And that's a great memory. And then the next morning, you go out into the field, and there's a bunch of bubbles. Everyone gathers. Oh, there's the two of us with my mask. But yeah, everyone's just making all these giant bubbles. As is tradition. That's just a thing you do. And drink champagne. Yeah, and they had, you know, like the two big sticks with a rope between them, essentially, and then a bucket full of soap fluid, and you dip it in. And you do the thing, and you get a gigantic bubble, and then everyone else is around trying to lift them up and make them survive. Yeah, some of them just got way up there. Some of them stayed up for a very long time. And there's a sunrise, very, very good sunrise. Some art that was, there's a nice picture of Maynard. But they had all sorts. There's Vader. They had a C-3PO playing a guitar kind of a thing. Very funky art. Lots of funky art to buy. There's us on the morning. I would try to pop them. There was a bunch of little ones that you can pop, but yeah, don't pop the big ones. People might get grumpy at you for popping the big ones. On the way back home, getting coffee after the long morning. It got very cold. It got a lot colder than I thought it was. This was a secondhand hoodie type situation that I got from a bin, essentially. I scored it for free because I was stupid and didn't pack any sleeves. We saw the forecast was for a lot of really warm weather when we first looked at it. The first time we looked, it was like, yeah, they're gonna break 100 degrees one day. It's gonna be 90 degrees all the rest of the days. Was so worried about how hot it was gonna be that I packed all my lightest clothes, and then the forecast got updated, and it was not nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And it got cold in the evenings. It got down to 50 degrees in the evenings, and we were running around all night. So that was smart. That was cool of me not to pack any sleeves or anything. So I got a secondhand hoodie and was very comfortable in that for for all those nights. And then here's the sunrise and moonrise, I guess, over the river, not too far from our place. I don't even know where this one came from. I had to laugh. You'll just find weird stuff like this all over the place. Luigi Ripperoni, please do not contact me. And there's breakfast, a waffle with an egg on it. That was an amazing meal. There was so much good food there. So much good food. Had a very good quinoa salad bowl kind of a thing. There was a tofu burrito that I had that was really good. The waffle was really good. The gumbo place did like an egg breakfast. There was a whatchamacallit, like an omelet kind of a situation. That was very good. The chai was very good. The coffee was very good. The drinking chocolate was very good. And we obviously didn't get a chance to try everything. A quesadilla was very good. Quesadilla with grilled onions inside. There's another map, so you can see how different they are. This one's all colored in with all these colored circles. It's very, very pretty. Another parade. Not in parade formation, obviously, but this was the pollinator parade. They had a whole bunch of bees and bats and hummingbirds on stilts. Because of course you do. They, we're not hauling pollen. Pollinators unite. They had some shouts too, like some pollinator strike rhymes. I don't think I can remember. And just like shouting, more flowers, more flowers. Very good. When I acquired, I was gifted this thing. You can hardly see it there, but yeah, very pretty crown that our camp host gave to me. A couple weeks ago, I had not this foam mask thing, but I had foam horns, the big green horns. I made those to bring here to gift and to trade, and this is what I was gifted in return. So those horns have turned into these, and yeah, they will appear on stream at some point. Very sure. And yeah, here's me chilling at the work booth. I got a hat. My friend bought me a hat because I didn't have a hat. And then my new ear thing. And the shirt, I do not own the shirt. These are the shirts that our camp host was making. Very, very, very nice shirts. So I was just wearing that to kind of show it off and was sitting there like, I look amazing. I should take a selfie. I don't do that very often. So yeah. Here's another map. Friday the 13th. Shark shirt is Pog. I know, right? All of her shirts are amazing. So good. And they're like high quality things too. Like she's a very good seamstress. We were helping her put on buttons to a couple of last minute shirts. And so she was teaching us her patented button method. And I've never done buttons by hand like that before, so that was an experience. But it's like she puts a lot of care into how she makes these things. And like the like pattern matching on the pockets, like look at that. This is a pocket right here, but you'd hardly even know it. It's just perfectly pattern matched. And they're all a little bulky. They're a little more masculine for my taste at the moment, but they're all so good. They're all so good. Map wings. Got some wings. We got them for our camp host, I believe, but we were sent on a mission to go and grab them. So of course they had to be worn and shown off temporarily. So yeah, someone in the meadow was selling these giant sparkly butterfly wings. Oh, and yeah, and here's me. We were sitting at the booth, and this is up on the balcony, and we had some plastic rubber wisteria flowers set up and everything, and the forest behind us, and I was just talking about the mask to some other people who were in our booth, and the woman was like, just the way that I was being framed by all the flowers and the trees and everything was just like perfect in that moment. She was like, I have to take a photo of you right now, and I was like, I'm not gonna stop you. So she took a couple of photos of me up there in the booth. They came out very well. This is essentially what I looked like all weekend, just walking around, making people happy with my stuff, and everyone was very appreciative and supportive, and yeah, it was great. It was great. This is a lighty thing with like a solar powered lamp with a sphere around it with a bunch of shapes cut out, so it made our inside area look very pretty. And there at the end of the fair, there's my masks hanging out on the top there. And then yeah, on the drive home, the sunset was amazingly gorgeous and hit all the buildings just right, and we came up over the hill. It was like, there's town, there's an amazing shot. Gotta take a last photo, of course. Yeah, let me see if I can easily show off these videos. Let's do this. How does this work? Oh, here, no, hey, no, stop. The other monitor, please. Can I do this? I think this works. Yeah, there we go. There was a disco parade. Oh yeah, I like the Ukraine flags. Our camp host put those up, and you're like, Sure, why not? But there was it was a little parade. They had a whole bunch of bubbles, and they were just walking around, and they had a cart full of ice cream and cones, and they were just walking around and offering them to people. And we found it like right as they were picking all their stuff up and moving to a new location. So we were following them for a whole long time, and waiting for an opportunity to get an ice cream cone. And they weren't selling them. This was before we were open to the public, so this was like one aspect of the fair kind of doing a thing for all the other fair staff and vendors and such. So they were just giving away free ice cream. So we had to like muscle ourselves in there and be like, no, yes, we actually want ice cream. So we followed them for a little longer than was probably wise. But we did eventually get the ice cream. Yeah, this is what it looks like. This is the meadow. There was a bunch of squeaks. There was a bunch of duck squeaks on the jellyfish parade. Here's the jellyfish parade. Very, very cool. Just the whole thing was cool. You'll just be walking around, you'll see a parade walk by, and you go, okay, parade. These things were lit very beautifully, very, very cool looking at night. The person was there painting as as people were walking by. Lots of UV reactive stuff, of course, as you would expect. Oh, and there's the dragon at the entrance, and you can see they're setting up. Yeah, there's a band setting up. There's that TV in the back. There's just music everywhere. Like, there's stages, and there's a schedule. Oh, and there's the mosquito thing. But, like, there's no on these things. Like, there's stages, and there's a schedule, and there's obviously a structure about how all of those are done. But there's also just musical things happening everywhere. People will just walk around with instruments and play, or people will sit down on the path with a banjo and just sit there and play forever. That's just their thing. It's amazing. And you can see all the color changing on this. Yeah. So cool. And the Mandelbrot wall. There we go. So you can see they have a projector on it. Pretty light shows monkey brain neurons activated. Exactly. All of my neurons are very activated right now. This was one of the coolest things. We sat down and watched this for quite a while. And that's just, like, you can see, it's like it's the Mandelbrot carved into the wood, but then they have this projector just shining patterns onto it and highlighting all the different shadows as it goes. Oh, and this, I don't know if I can get enough sound out of this. This is just hanging out at the, this is us at the booth at night, looking out onto where the piano is. So there's all these lanterns up in the trees above the piano, so you can hear someone just playing. Or no, you can't, because I don't have... how do I give you audio for that? Oh, I don't have an easy way to give you audio, do I? Oh well. Imagine very chill music. Because that's what's going on right here. You have to hear this one. It's all so good. Okay. I will do here, and then what is this playing through? This is movies and TV. This, does that work? No. I have so many... I have too many things open. Which one's actually the audio? You do hear it? Okay. Oh, well then, there you go. So yeah, you'll just be... Yeah, piano. Yeah, it should be a piano. Like, I have no idea who this person is. They just sat down and started playing music. and you'll just be hanging out, and this was just constant. This was forever. The whole time we were there, people just playing great music. Oh, I think you can hear it through my microphone, so it's probably not great, but you get the idea. Excellent camera work here. And people will just come in and sing too. Like, it's all very ad-lib, collaborative, and chill and great. It's just such a great atmosphere. Piano to be a social experiment gone right. Yeah, this whole fair. Oh, and here's the fire show. Oh, very, very quick one of the fire show, but come on. But yeah, and then this is out in the meadow with the Mandelbrot thing again. You can hear music in the background. There's a bunch of stages within earshot of here, but yeah. Yeah, it's so pretty. Yeah. It's just so good. And then here's us dancing. Here's another parade.
Don't pick the bad time.
Like the light up juggling pins, very good. But you can kind of see, like, here's where the piano is. This is us on a balcony, essentially. The piano is essentially like right here. These bands must have just been going around the whole time. Like, there was always a parade. There's just always a parade going around. I can't imagine how they had to have been getting breaks somehow, but I don't know when. The fairgrounds are so huge that it would take a parade an hour just to make a loop, and then start again. So yeah, I don't know. This was one of the late night shows. So this is after closing. So this is a show just for the other staff members, because at this point in the night, the general public isn't allowed on the fairgrounds. And this is the MC singing her song. See if you can. I don't know if you can pick that up. I'm thinking you probably can't hear that, but. Not residential. No, this is out in the middle of nowhere. There is a town nearby, but like a small town. It's this is truly wilderness. There's no permanent population here. Oh, and there's bubbles. Big bubbles. Oh, and then the hummingbird thing. Yeah. My phone was doing its best to deal with the darkness. It was utterly dark at that point. And then I think that's it. I'm gonna do my best not to show any extra bits of my desktop here. Where do I go? Capture sources. Here we go. Blam. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. When you subscribed, the subscribes can happen. Yay! Thank you. Thank you. I think you might be. Does that make you my first official subscriber? I think that might. So congrats. Yeah. So good. So good. I'll probably have. I mean, I know I have stories that I'm not being reminded of because of the photos, because there were so many stories and we only took so many photos. So, you know, I'll have more stories as I remember them, but that's kind of the bulk of what happened. The fair itself was open. Visitors camping elsewhere, usually, and they're just on their own. There's no official guest campsite. There's a parking lot, and there's places where you can go, you know, camp with your car, but it's off fairgrounds. You're on your own. You kind of just got to figure it out. If you're part of the fair, if you have a booth or you're like your staff, then you're allowed to stay on fairgrounds for the whole time. Like we were never kicked out. The general public gets kicked out. So yeah, not totally sure what all their options are, but they figured it out. The place was open from like, I think gates open at 11 most days, at least on that first day. And I think the other days. And then they start closing down at 7. They have a sweep that starts at the top and kind of moves all the way down. So it takes time to, like, you know, sweep the whole place and kick out all the non-booth people. But we were by where they started, so we would get the sweep would come by at around, you know, 7:10, 7:30, somewhere in there. By 8 o'clock, they're probably down there, and everyone's been kicked out, and it's just fair family, as they call them, just people who are there working, and it takes on. I mean, it's still very vibey. It's all the same vibe, but it's very much more close knit. Like everyone's. When you know that all of the people around you are also people who are working it, it's a little bit, it's different. It's pretty interesting. And a lot of the booths stay open. They'll, like, you can still buy food from a lot of the places after the main gate has closed. They'll still sell food to, you know, us other people who are working the fair, but they can also kind of do their own thing. A lot of places would just close right away. We would close pretty right away, but we were also just selling clothing. So people weren't coming out to us for food, but yeah, no, you can go find some chai in the middle of the night. It was great. Almost every festival I've been to or heard of has a campsite associated to it. Yeah. And I mostly don't know, like, there's all sorts of details that I don't know. I am not a veteran of this fair. My friend was the person who was telling me what was going on, especially the first time I went, but even this time, I don't know, I don't know all the things. Weird. Like there's campsites nearby, and people can camp, but I don't think they're officially associated with the fair, but I could be wrong on that. I don't know for sure. But I know that as far as camping goes, like if someone asks you, like if you're at the fair and someone asks you if you're camping, they're mainly meaning, are you camping inside the fairgrounds? Are you here to stay inside the fairgrounds the whole time? Because even like booth people will go camp in their car outside if that's more comfortable for them. But yeah, thanks for sharing. It makes me want to attend our local Ren Fair. Do it. I'm all about telling people to do it. I got to tell you at least some of the stories about my mask here. Of course, you'll have to check out the next video for those stories. Should be a link appearing on screen right now, and it'll be the next video in the playlist if you want to check out me talking about fancy purple things. Otherwise, I hope you can find the buttons to subscribe or like or whatever you want to do, and maybe come hang out live on Twitch next time I'm live. Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays, we're having fun, chilled times. I hope to see you there.